In ancient Egypt, cats weren't simply furry companions curled up on cushions. They were protectors, symbols of divine power, living links to the gods. From guarding grain stores to representing goddesses like Bastet, cats held a place of honor in homes, temples, and tombs. Egyptians dressed them in jewels, mourned them with shaved eyebrows, and mummified them with the same care given to royalty. So today, let's journey through ancient streets and sacred halls to uncover why ancient Egyptians risked their lives for cats, and how one small animal ruled the heart of an entire civilization. Cats as pest controllers. In early Egypt, farming meant storing grain near the Nile. Storing grain attracted mice and rats while snakes slithered in search of food and shelter. So wildcats followed and hunted pests that threatened the harvest and people. Farmers watched as wildcats patrolled fields at night. They began leaving out scraps of fish and bread for them. Over time, wildcats grew tamer and learned to trust humans. Eventually, homes with cats saw fewer crop losses and grain stores stayed safe longer. This made families feel secure while saving food they needed to survive. This partnership laid the groundwork for deeper bonds. Egyptians admired cats' silent paws and bright eyes. They saw these traits as proof of hidden power. A creature that balanced night and day, hunter and protector, seemed touched by the divine. So cats known as Mao in ancient Egypt moved from the edge of fields into barns. From barns they crept into homes, and each step made them part of Egyptian life. Cats in homes and art. By the Middle Kingdom, around 2000 BC, cats appear in tomb paintings relaxing beside chairs. Wealthy families dressed cats in leather collars studded with beads or small metal charms. Some collars held tiny gold ornaments shaped like fish. Moreover, cats shared plates of fish and bowls of milk with their owners. Children named kittens and played with them under the courtyard's shade. Artisans captured these scenes in frescoes and statuettes. A striking mural in Nebamun's tomb shows a poised cat mid-pounce on a bird in a lush garden. The bird's wings fluttered, the cat's back arched. Every detail celebrates life's vibrant energy. Ordinary homes also celebrated cats quietly. Tree bowls served as food and water dishes, while reed mats laid out soft resting spots for them. Cats curled up on doorsteps in the sun, a sign that visitors would find a warm welcome. These everyday images tell a clear story. Cats had moved from useful wild hunters to beloved companions really quick in ancient Egypt. Their soft fur and gentle purrs created comfort. Their alert eyes and graceful movements inspired admiration. Thus, in art and life, cats became symbols of home and of safety. Gods and cats. Moreover, Egyptian religion overflowed with animal symbolism. Lions and leopards embodied strength and royalty. Birds soared with messages from sky gods. Cats took on a specialized role as guardians and guides. The small African wildcat, Felis libica, symbolized balance, quiet yet fierce when needed. In the Book of the Dead, cats often appear as protectors who guard the path to the afterlife. Also, a cat figure stands for Ra, the sun god, ensuring the light's safe journey across the sky. Additionally, Egyptians believed gods could wear animal forms to visit the living, so a cat slipping into one's home was considered a blessing from Bastet or Ra. This belief gave cats a dual nature. They were both domestic friends and divine messengers. Small shrines in homes confirmed this belief. The corner shelf held a tiny cat statue beside an altar. Morning offerings of milk, bread, and flowers honored the family's cat spirit. These rituals reinforced the idea that cats worked for both family and gods, bridging two worlds with their presence. Bastet and other feline deities. Now, at the heart of cat worship stood Bastet. She first appeared in texts from the Second Dynasty as a lioness warrior. By the New Kingdom, 1500 BC, her image softened into a domestic cat's head atop a woman's body. She became the goddess of home, fertility, and joy. Her temple at Bast, modern-day Bastet, drew tens of thousands of pilgrims each year. Visitors arrived by boat along the Nile, bringing offerings of lotus flowers, music, and dance. Priests led grand processions carrying small cat statues through crowded streets. Festival songs filled the air while musicians played drums and flutes. Children joined in with tambourines while traders sold amulets in the shape of cat paws, promising protection and good fortune. Other feline deities added layers of cat symbolism, like Mafdet, an early protector goddess, bore the head of a wildcat or mongoose. She defended against venom and evil spirits. Sekhmet, a lioness goddess, ruled war and healing. Her fierce power granted victory in battle and cured disease. Egyptians saw these goddesses as aspects of a larger feline force that kept order in the world. Worship of Bastet and her kin showed in every corner of life. Eventually, cats roamed temple courtyards freely. Priests cared for them as living embodiments of the goddess. Some families even kept multiple cats, believing each carried a spark of divine grace. Serving these sacred animals felt like serving the gods themselves. Expansion of cat cults. Next, as trade and travel grew, the cult of Bastet spread beyond Bubastis. Merchants and diplomats took stories of cat goddesses to cities along the Mediterranean. In Cyprus and Crete, archaeologists found cat statuettes identical to those from Bubastis. In Upper Egypt, smaller temples dedicated to Bastet and Mafdet appear near desert oases where cats hunted poisonous snakes. Temple complexes evolved into many cities. Around every main sanctuary grew markets selling votive offerings. On the other hand, women wove cat images in textiles. Jewelers crafted rings with feline heads. Potters molded cat figurines for home altars. Even distant villages held nightly ceremonies at small shrines, lighting lamps before feline statues and whispering prayers for protection. This expansion turned simple farm cats into symbols of trade, religion, and cultural exchange. As gods moved along the Nile and beyond, so did beliefs, and cats became ambassadors of safety and peace, carrying the fame of Egyptian gods across borders. Growing legal protection. Now, with cats so revered, Egypt's rulers and priests moved to protect them by law. Common citizens and nobles alike risked severe punishment for harming a cat. Historians recorded that even accidental killing was considered a huge crime. Local records from the ancient period mention court cases where defendants pleaded mercy after a cat's death. Also, judges often ruled in favor of the cat, imposing fines paid to temple treasuries. In more extreme cases, public anger rose faster than courts could calm it. Mobs sometimes delivered their own rough justice, dragging offenders before the cat goddess's statue for swift punishment. These laws created a unique social contract. Every Egyptian had a duty to save cats from harm. Watchmen at city gates rescued kittens lost among wagons. Travelers brought injured cats to town shrines for healing, and citizens paused their daily routines to clear paths for cats lounging in the sun. This legal and moral shield made cats among the safest animals in the ancient world. Mourning rituals. Also, when a family cat died, Egyptians entered deep mourning. They shaved off their eyebrows and let them grow back before returning to normal life. They also washed the cat's body and wrapped it in fine linen. Then they placed it in a small coffin, often made of wood or clay. Wealthy owners hired priests to recite spells from the Book of the Dead, guiding the cat's spirit to the afterlife alongside its family. Many homes kept a small shrine for their cats. Each morning, families burned incense and offered milk or bread. They lit oil lamps and whispered prayers for the cat's well-being in the next world. This daily ritual showed how cats lived on in memory and spirit. It also kept the household connected to the gods who watched over feline souls. The mummification trade. Next, the demand for sacred cat mummies created a booming industry around major temples. Farmers bred kittens by the hundreds in simple compounds near Bubastis, Saqqara, and Tuna el Yebel. When kittens reached a few months old, priests performed ritual killings by strangulation or breaking their necks. After that, embalmers treated the bodies with oils and resins, wrapped them in linen, and sealed them in jars or tiny sarcophagi. Pilgrims visiting Bastet's temple bought these mummies as offerings for health, fertility, or protection. Market stalls also sold small cat statues, amulets shaped like paws, and linen supplied from across Egypt. Traders shipped oils, resins, and pottery jars up and down the Nile. This economy revolved entirely around the sacred value of feline forms, showing how devotion and commerce can join in surprising ways. Duty and compassion. Additionally, ordinary Egyptians felt a personal duty to protect cats at all costs. If a cat wandered into danger, people jumped into action, even at risk to their own lives. They interrupted carts on narrow streets to rescue felines stuck in the wheels. They also rescued cats from burning homes or flooded fields after the Nile's rise. These acts built community bonds and showed shared respect for creatures tied to the gods. At city gates and village gates, watchmen paused travelers carrying cats or kittens in need of help. Injured or sick cats were taken to temple priests for healing and rest. Also, families traveling by river stopped at every dock to ask if stray cats needed rescue. This sense of care was woven into daily life, blending civic responsibility with sacred respect for cats' divine side. Contradictions of faith and profit. Now, the fierce protection clashed with the kitten breeding industry. Many kittens didn't live long enough to warm a household lap. Archaeologists examining mummies find broken bones and signs of violent death in countless specimens. This means farmers and traders sometimes chose profit over piety, treating cats as commodities rather than companions. Yet this practice remained accepted because it fueled offerings to the gods, keeping temples wealthy and powerful. Even priests who handled mummification faced moral tensions. They watched kittens die for ritual offerings with guilt, yet they believed each sacrifice brought divine favor. So whether this was widespread or rare, it shows that even in sacred economies, people wrestled with compassion and commerce. Aftermath and legacy. However, after Rome annexed Egypt in 30 BC, Christian emperors slowly banned pagan animal rites. By the late 4th century AD, edicts closed temples and forbade sacrifices. Cat cemeteries fell silent and were sealed beneath rubble. Yet the memory of feline devotion lingered in art and tradition for centuries. Travel writers of the Middle Ages still noted Egypt's respect for cats. In the 15th century, Arnold von Harff described Mamluk soldiers pausing their patrols to pet and feed street cats. Muslims also honored cats as clean animals in later traditions, continuing a gentle treatment rooted in ancient practice. Modern echoes. Today, Egyptian cat breeds like Mao carry echoes of ancient forms. Their spotted coats and sleek shapes remind us of wild cats once roaming in ancient Egypt. Museums worldwide display cat mummies and statues, testifying to Egypt's lasting love for felines. Animal welfare advocates sometimes cite ancient Egyptian laws as early examples of legal protection for creatures. Modern laws even echo the idea that harming a cat is a serious crime. Clearly, today's cat lovers can find inspiration in Egypt's deep mix of faith, law, and care, showing how cultures across time can build strong bonds with animals. Ancient Egyptians risked their lives for cats because these animals bridged the human and divine realms. From humble pest controllers to living embodiments of deities, cats shaped homes, laws, and economies. Harsh penalties for harming a cat underscored their sacred status. The industry of cat mummies revealed both the height of devotion and the dark side of ritual sacrifice. Yet the overall story is one of love, respect, and wonder. Cats were companions, protectors, and symbols of cosmic order. Their tale reminds us that the bonds between humans and animals can carry deep spiritual meaning. Across millennia, cats taught Egyptians and now us that how care and reverence can touch both heart and soul. Now, if we ask you, what are your thoughts about ancient Egyptians and their relationship with cats? Share with us in the comments section below. Also, if you like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content.